This is Gridden, and you are listening to the Escape Podcast. This show was recorded in front of a live Twitch audience, and I had to do this stupid intro because Paul beat me to unlocking some dumb character that I'm not even going to mention. It's okay, Kylo Ren. So I lost a bet and I had to do this intro. Well done, Paul. Congratulations, good sir. I look forward to seeing the times when you know how to use the character. Love you, brother. You guys enjoy the show. Have a fantastic time, as always, on the Escape Podcast. Thank you so much for the fun, Paul, and I will catch you guys next time.
One is a Grand Arena specialist from the UK. The other is a territory battle tactician from the US. Together, there are no signs of intelligent life on board. With both having played this game since launch, the one thing we are sure of is that you will be entertained. The Escape Pod Cast, a service of the Escape Pod Castaways. A weekly podcast about the mobile game Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Live from the network studios of Yavin 4, here are your hosts, Neil Andrew Eyre and Paul Anthony.
Coming up on this week's edition of the Escape Pod Cast,
we take a look back at 2020.
and we evaluate, in our way, where we are now.
We reflect on what we as a show did during 2020.
And what CG did as well.
The Llama breaks down the Darth Malak event for story time.
And we went a little long in our incoming transmission.
So we are going to shorten the first two segments to bring to you
Our full interview with Warrior.
plus a new heli in the new premieres for the year. This is his 8th live action episode.
What will happen in episode 8? Stay tuned to find out.
And the bridge will carry us out as always.
A few housekeeping things to cover, but we'll break down our plans for 2021.
All this and breaking news as and if it happens.
Right here on the Escape Pod Cast.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to 2021 and our first episode of the Escape Pod Cast of the new year. I am your host, the Nev, and as always, I'm joined by my hetero life partner, Paul Anthony. Paul, how are you this year?
So far, so good. If you guys did get some echo there right in the beginning, sorry. I had to turn down the speakers. And also, both of us made goofs in the produced open, so, you know, we're going to call it even there, right, Neil?
Yeah, we can call it evens.
Okay. MP and wrong dates. We both are even now. But welcome into 2021, guys. It is episode 99 today. Episode 100 will be quite interesting. You know, how is CG going to get out of the gate in the new year? And then our uber ultra secret mystery guest that that we are excited to bring to you. By the way, if you hear explosions in the background, don't worry. I am not currently in any danger. Texas allows fireworks to be sold through January 1st. Bless you, Neil.
Oh, and if the stream gets cut, that's because of snow here and the ice the ice storm that we had earlier on, and the weight of everything just bringing trees down on power lines and stuff like that. You know, it's a distinct possibility. There have been lots of trees falling over because of the weight of the ice on them, because we had one of those. We literally had an ice storm yesterday. It rained ice. I mean, it looks cool because every blade of grass is sticking up like an upward icicle, so it looks really pretty, and the trees look really pretty, but they're extremely heavy. They've frozen solid, and now it's snowing, so you've got that weight and the weight of the snow. So some stuff might fall over today.
Yeah, so if for some reason the stream gets cut,
blame it on the weather.
We'll have a weather delay.
Mm-hmm. It will be because of an act of RNGesus. The RNG gods are showing how not nice they are because, they just don't like me in general,
Well, Neil, let's get right to the meat of things right off the bat here. I wanted to go over and go along the literal timeline of announcements that CG made in 2021 or in 2020. So, right out of the gate, we didn't really have anything. So, should we expect something in this next week? Because the first post of 2020 was on the 10th, where they were accepting questions for Q&A.
Yeah, but we don't get Q&As anymore. Now it's just a flat out, they just go and do an interview with somebody once a month, don't they? Usually with the Galactic War Report. They haven't done a Q&A in ages. Q&As are gone. They're done.
Well, we'll remind ourselves as we take a trip down memory lane here about when they stopped Q&A.
Yep.
So, they did they later did the Q&A on the 10th. Let's see. They had an update to Grand Arena schedule. Then on the 21st, Poe, Resistance Hero Poe, was announced.
Dora the Explorer.
Dora the Explorer. Grand Arena Season 4. Wow. Man, only 4 back at the beginning of the year. Or 5 or 3 or whatever you call it.
Yeah. They were always one out. For some reason, they were always one out. I never quite understood why they were one out, but they were. They were always one out.
But remember that we began the year with the case of the missing Watt shards.
Did we?
Yeah, that was back the Watt shard issue was back when we began the year. So,
I wouldn't know because I didn't. It was a while before I was in a guild where I started getting Watt shards, so that issue probably went right over my head.
So then we had the whole thing about where people on iOS couldn't purchase things on the 24th. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
How they fixed it like that?
They fixed it for the Krakens like instantaneously. Gotta get that Kraken money.
And then on the 28th, Galactic Legends were first announced.
Yeah. And I got really excited.
They also announced, and this kind of got swept under the rug at that time, the new tiers for assault battles were announced as well on the 28th.
Yeah, the challenge tiers, which were definitely a welcome new addition to the assault battles. That's for sure. Because up to that point, it was just put in a team, hit auto, and that was it. Put in a team, hit auto. So the announcement for the challenge tiers, challenge tier 1 and challenge tier 2, definitely made things a lot more interesting. And obviously, the theory crafters, started drooling.
So, and let's be truly honest here. That completed January. 0 to 5. Or 1 to 5. Let's not do 0. 1 to 5. What do you rate January with the release of Assault Challenge Tier battles? I'm gonna give it, and we did get a character. I'm gonna give it a 3.
I'll give it a 2.5 because the thing is, it wasn't anything particularly special or new. They weren't changing assault battles. All they were doing was tacking onto it an extra couple of hard tiers. So the assault challenges themselves didn't change. So if you still had really good teams, you were still putting them in, and you were, still hitting auto. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you were just originally doing it with, a couple of relic characters, or maybe one relic character in some gear 12s or some gear 11s, you weren't going to get past challenge tier 1 on auto like you were able to get past all of the other waves. But you know, for whales and for krakens, you were still hitting the auto.
Neil, I actually think that the first one we got, I could be absolutely wrong, but what comes to mind was the first challenge tier on the assault battles that we got was the Ewoks, where it was Empire and Droids.
Yes. Yeah.
And that one, you actually could lower what you really couldn't just auto it. I had beefed up droids.
Actually, thinking about it now, it didn't become autoable until after Vader got his rework. So yeah. Once Vader had his rework, then it was autoable because obviously Vader's rework did make it, you know. So yeah, it did require manual.
Ian Theory crafted it great. Do you keep it at 2.5 or do you bump it up to 3 with me?
I'll bump it up to a 3. Because you had to do it on manual in order to get past 4 of 8. To get past the Tebow phase. I mean, it was autoable up to, but then Tebow would just, you know, one-shot people. So
for me, it wasn't autoable because I had to get that B1 ready. So, anyway, let's move on so we don't run out of time because we do have a long interview today. February brought the Republic Offensive Territory Battle Bug where the wrong things were being unlocked and... It was interesting. It was they ended up giving us compensation for that.
And don't forget they announced what useless characters. I mean, they were announcing the useless characters that people had to take to high relic levels in order for said Galactic Legends.
They were doing that. We haven't gotten to that yet. We did have the return of Mythic events because the Mythic events were not in the calendar, so that was nice. They then released Mastery. They talked about Mastery, a strength attacker, agility attacker, tactics, healer, things like that. Going down, we then got Haldo. Haldo's ship came out on the 12th. Haldo's ship came out, or was announced. Once again, we're talking about the dates that were announced. We're reviewing the year here. They removed... Oh, no, they didn't remove. They investigated issues of Skywalker countering before going into cover. And they left it as that.
Okay.
We got the State of the Galaxy in February, where they showed off that they had more polygons to work with, that they were, you know.
Yeah. Instead of a potato head, it was a sweet potato head.
After that, we had another developer Q&A on the 27th. Before that, we got Grand Arena 5, which was Smugglers. And then on the 27th, they put Chewie and Veteran Han and Veteran Chewie, the Viagra Bros, they put them in the Resistance, and also gave Hux his ship, the Finalizer, right before then.
Yeah, and they did because I do remember they put them on cheaper nodes. They were reduced.
Han and Chewie, yes,
they were reduced from 16 energy nodes to 12 energy nodes.
That is true. So there we go. We got through. That was all through February. Once again, to recap, we got Radis and Finalizer
announced.
We had them not change General Skywalker. So Radis and Finalizer, I was happy for those two ships. I love the Finalizer. once again, I'm going to give this a middle of the road 3 out of 5.
Yeah, I'll give it a 3.
All right, let's get into March. Into March, State of the Galaxy, they released Galactic Legends. And Hux was able to go to Gear 12.
Gear 12, yeah, 3. Yeah, you were able to.
I think Hux was actually the previous year. So that stayed. We did get Galactic Legends that were released on the 10th. And they broke the territory war.
They broke everything. They just broke people. People just broke.
They then released issue with iOS 12. Or they had an issue with iOS 12. And Neil, the update was Galactic Legends on March 25th. There you go. Galactic Legends dropped March 25th. And that was it.
Yeah.
That was all we got out of March.
Yeah. And everybody discovered very, very, very quickly that it wasn't an event, no matter how prepared you were, that you could do that. It was painful, and it was long, and it was frustrating, and it involved rock, paper, scissors.
Scissors, lizard, Spock. Yes.
No, there was no, because there was 3 options. If there was 5 options, it would be rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock. But there were only 3 options, so it was only rock, paper, scissors.
All right, but looking at this, March only pretty much had a broken territory war, a issue with iOS, and then the release of Galactic Legends. Depending on your viewpoint, Galactic Legends saved March or was the worst thing in the world.
It was the worst thing in the world because what we got did not match expectations.
Not Galactic Challenges. We're talking about.
I know we're talking about Galactic Legends, and they didn't. They did not meet expectations. People were not expecting it to be, weeks and weeks and weeks in order to get a Galactic Legend, because that's what it takes from the beginning to the end to get Galactic Legends. It's not something that you can do in a day. You can't prepare, get all of the gear, get all of the mods, and do it in a day. It's not physically possible.
All right. For me, Galactic Legends allowed more guilds to help focus some of their members. But with the lack of stuff that came out, no new characters, and not really a new mode until the 25th. I'm giving March a 1.5.
Yeah, I'll give it a 1.
So, and now that we are right now through a quarter of the year, I do want to thank very much to Teddy, your daddy, as one of our new followers. Thank you, Teddy. All right, so moving along here, let's get into April. We heard nothing from. April Pilots was the Grand Arena Championship use. Bodhi says Rose now had a use. That is true. Pilots were the Grand Arena theme. They then announced that they would be doing their stay and play event.
Yeah. Did you remember? You remember the rumor that started in April because of the data mine for one of the titles for GAC, the Trench Runner.
Oh yes.
You remember the Trench Runner title that was we didn't know that it was going to be a title in GAC. We just got from the data mine something to do with Trench Runner, and everybody was like, Trench Runner, that's from the Death Star. Oh my God, are we going to be getting the Death? Are we finally going to get the Death Star?
Because we talked about having the Death Star raid.
Exactly. In October of 2019, they talked about a ship raid. A ship's raid. And then we discovered in a Q&A, obviously in 2020, that, it was being mothballed, unfortunately. I can't remember what month it was. It was in one of the Q&As, remember?
I do. And really quick, I'm going to address Teddy or Daddy, who just said, if you just started a new account and bought the hot dog bun, or the hyperdrive bundle, we call it the hot dog bun around here, which route would you go?
JKR. If you've bought the hyperdrive bundle, go for JKR, because you can get JKR pretty fast.
Yeah, but this show is mainly about everything that has to do with the game, gameplay critique and advice. We do have the story time with the llama coming up, which we'll talk about this week. We'll be talking about the Malak event, which you need JKR for. But we invite you to check out Neil doing his GAC tomorrow. I'm sure.
And one of our
to help Teddy out, wouldn't you?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And one of our lovely guests will you will be furnished with useful tips from people in chat, because everybody in chat, we're all hands at this game. Somebody's going to say, "Oh, don't forget Phoenix," and then somebody else will say, "Oh, don't forget the Geos. Don't forget the G." So yeah, people will start doing that. Ray Rock is a font of knowledge. Ray Rock, help out Teddy.
Yeah, all the listeners that you're seeing live in the Twitch chat right now will be more than happy to help you out here. And I just hit the jump to present button, so I gotta fill some time here as I'm scrolling back through everything. But the whole stay and play, that was in response to the shutdown of pretty much everything.
Oh yeah. I remember now, of course. It was 2 weeks to flatten the curve, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And the stay and play.
We got extra Assault and Mythic battles through April 10th through the 16th. And then we got double drops on April 11th and the 15th.
2 times 0 is still 0.
And they brought Malak, ironically, we talk about this, they brought Malak to the Journey Guide for good.
Yes, yeah. Which we got a little bit early, because obviously they originally stated that Journey's Guide events were only going to be added to the Journey Guide after 12 months, and we got it a month early with Malak, and we got it 2 months early with Revan. Darth Revan, that is. Yeah. But it was still nice to get them at just that little bit extra early and not have to wait for a cadence.
So we also got announced on the 10th. They said that they're doing a player early evaluation test program. I haven't heard a damn peep about that since.
Well, not hearing about it is it goes one of two ways. It's really bad because we haven't heard a peep out of it, or it's really good because we haven't heard a peep out of it, and those people that are on it are doing what they're supposed to do, which is keep stum.
Right, but, I mean, they could at least acknowledge that it has been going forward, and they're making great strides and catching great things. I'd love to hear encouraging things that they're catching things before they get out there. I'm not asking them to tell me what's in it. I just want to shake the present and try to hear what's inside. I don't want to open it and see what's in it because I don't want to technically, I honestly technically don't want to be spoiled unless I'm directly spoiled on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. They just finished doing, let's see here. They removed Facebook linking on the 14th.
Still not working
then
now.
They did a State of the Galaxy in April.
Yeah. Which sucked.
They talked about The Mandalorian coming to the game.
Yes, but we haven't got to it yet, so yeah. we haven't got to it yet.
So on the 23rd, they are doing on the 17th, they also announced that they're doing another Q&A for April. There was a Galactic Legends AI issue. I believe that was brought up by Operation Metaverse.
There were lots
on the
of issues
21st,
in those first 2 months, though, really, when you think about it.
On the 21st, they announced Cara Dune, Grief Karga, and on the 22nd, they announced The Mandalorian.
Mando. Which I instantly wanted, because everybody wanted those characters, because the show rocked.
Yep. Then on the 23rd, we were reminded to not buy crystals from third parties. I swear, Neil, it wasn't me. Wink, wink. If anybody doesn't get the joke, no, I didn't actually buy it. There was a controversy with somebody called It Wasn't Me, okay? Go. Don't think that I was buying third-party crystals. They then released Mandalorian to the tables on the 29th. And much more Mando hype on the 30th. So 3 characters along with the Stay and Play initiative.
Yeah,
I'm
April
was
April. Yeah, April was a good month. April gets a 4. April was a good month. Double drops are always a good month. You know, double drops will always get the appraising eye from most of the community, because it wasn't something that we'd had for a while.
Yeah, we got to speed up here a little bit. We got May the 4th stuff. Empire Strikes Back was the Grand Arena theme. Maul was the first to clear Dark Side. We got the Galactic Chase for the Rebel Y-Wing. And that's it. Okay. So the Rebel Y-Wing, Galactic Chase.
Wasn't the Vader rework in May?
What's that?
Wasn't the Vader rework in May?
I'm skipping ahead. I will look.
Or was the Vader rework in June? I could have swore the Vader rework was May.
It may have been in May. I will continue to look here. But what do you it was May. It was May. So yes, Vader rework. I'm going to give this one a 4.
May ever.
I'm going to give May a 4.
Yeah, May definitely gets a 4. Just because
4
of Vader.
out of 5.
Yeah.
All right. So we get the TIE Bomber in June, along with the puzzle that led to Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker.
Yeah. June gets a 5 just on that alone.
Oh, nope. Vader touch-up was 6/22. Okay. 6/22. So, yeah.
And June was the most awesome
Vader
month
touch-up,
of the year.
Jedi Knight Luke, Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, June was awesome. June was just an awesome month.
So let's really quick, since we're halfway through the year, let's stop and move on to and take a break. When we come back, we'll rush through this because we have a long interview with Warrior coming up in the incoming transmission. So right now, guys, hang tight. Support the things brought to you in these messages, and we'll be right back on the Escape Podcast.
The Escape Pod Cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and I approve this message and am compensated for signups for this service.
The world's largest audiobook library is at your fingertips, and the Escape Pod Castaways wants you to try it for free. Head on over to escapepodcastaways.com and click the Going Nerdy offer button to claim a free audiobook and 2 Audible originals. Cancel anytime, and it's absolutely free to sign up. Check out Audible and support the Escape Pod Castaways. All for free. See Audible website for details. Restrictions may apply.
Did you know that if you signed up to become a Patreon, you could get tons of rewards? Force Ghost Scotty could do a roster review for you. Neil Andrew Air could share Grand Arena tactics. Or Paul could even help you get maximum stars in Geonosis Territory Battle. And you even get access into the after show. Sound good? Sign up to be a Patreon today. For as little as $2 a month, you could unlock a ton of potential content and also get closer to the hosts. Head to patreon.com/The Escape Pod to sign up.
Have you been interested in getting items 3D printed but haven't wanted to buy one of those expensive printers? Are you looking for a literally one-of-a-kind tech gift gadget? Evil Genius 3D Printing and Gadgets is your one-stop shop for both of those items. Nerd-owned and Escape Pod approved, put Lenny the Evil Genius to work for you. If you can dream it, he could possibly make it. Contact Lenny at evilgenius3dprinting@gmail.com for more information. That's evilgenius3dprinting@gmail.com. Get something unique in your hands.
Hey, I'm Andy Beads.
Hey, I'm Danish Bobo.
Hey, I'm Ando.
Hey, I'm Jake.
I'm Bringer of Death.
Jake Johnson TX.
I'm Ramby2307.
Spartan EZ here.
I am Mr. Jikabachi.
Star Wars Galaxy of Yeti.
I'm Player Gaming Embers.
I'm Lazy Turtle.
I'm Mudbum.
I mean, come on. They already know me. I'm the bloody co-host.
And we are part of
the GAC Chain Gang.
We're a group of streamers who
stream our Grand Arena on Twitch
and continue the chain
into the next streamer.
We have all types of accounts for you to enjoy, from the big whales to the
small accounts.
But we're all here to provide entertainment
and have a good time.
The Grand Arena Chain Gang is proud to be part
of the Escape Pod Castaways Content Creator Network. Stop by and see them, won't you?
This is Hellenix.
Hashtag shameless self-promotion.
And you're listening to the Escape Pod Cast, part of the Escape Pod Castaways Network.
The Escape Pod Cast.
And welcome back. It's the second part of the show, also known as segment 2, where we cover. Let's get on with the second half, because we need
really
to
quick. Big Sean LM85.
Yeah, we need to motor through this. We need to motor through, don't we? July.
Yeah. Okay. I thought you were saying motor through. I thought maybe I was on mute. I hadn't looked at the.
No, you're not on mute.
I wanted to really quick say thank you to Big Sean LM85 for following. Appreciate you. All right. So we went through June, July. Getting to July, while we had 3PO and Chewie together in the event, we didn't actually have a character, 3PO and Chewie. And we ended up getting Chewpio this time around.
Awesome character.
I agree. Grand Arena Championship Season 9 was all about Stormtroopers. We then also got Mon Mothma in July. And wow, was that it? All right.
Still farming them, but hey, I'm still farming them.
Okay, so with the fact that Chewpio and Mothma are two pretty good characters, we didn't get much other than that. We got the road ahead. It was a very short road ahead. I'm gonna say 3 because Chewpio and Mothma saved it.
Yeah, no, I'm giving it a 4 because we were given 2 incredibly good marquee characters, and marquee characters, this was definitely the year of good marquee characters, without a doubt.
Okay. This is the first time that it's been first time that you've been flip-flopping me on that one. All right, August. The State of the Galaxy Galactic Legends. They then began to roll out, almost literally, they began to roll out the hotfix to bring Galactic Legends in. They were very, very weird at first. We've talked about that. We talked about that in the last one, in the last episode. But then On August 25th, they announced Sith Eternal Emperor and Jedi Master Luke Skywalker alongside Admiral Piet coming to the game.
Yeah. Another awesome marquee character.
So I really haven't been, I've been half-assed going towards these Jedi Master Luke and Sith Eternal Emperor. I got my Jedi Knight Luke, which I'm still upset that Jedi Knight Luke is not fully out there in the journey guide for people that want to go for Jedi Master Luke, but Jedi Master Luke needs so many characters that are endgame anyway. I'm not sure exactly what to say.
You need 64 characters and ships in order to get Jedi Master Luke.
But how many for Seep?
Huh?
How many for Palp?
Oh, I never worked out for Palp. I
think it's like
JML.
34. Half as much.
Yeah, it's half as much.
And then they announced we didn't get it until the following month, and so it'll count towards the next month. And so I'm just going to leave it there. Okay, Galactic Legend, New Galactic Legends 2, this next set of 2 in the same year. Galactic Legends and Piet. Does Piet save it from being a 1?
No. I mean, I'll give it a 2.
So it does.
Yeah. It doesn't save. It doesn't. It saves it from getting a. Piet saves it from getting a really bad score because, they went for the same era, and I think they screwed up making Galactic Legend. You know, having all the Galactic Legends from the same Star Wars era. I must admit I called it, but I called it wrong. I originally thought it was going to be original trilogy era or Clone Wars era. I genuinely thought, oh well, we've had sequel trilogy era for the first set of Galactic Legends, and I was like, it'll be Luke and Vader if it's original trilogy era, or it'll be like Mace Windu and Trench for an old Republic, for a Galactic Republic era.
By the way, it seems that we've gotten it's been 6 months between releases of Galactic Legends.
Yeah.
So do you think we're going to get an announcement coming up coming up in this coming month?
Oh, what, for the next set of...
for the next set. Do you think we're going to get another set coming up this soon?
I don't think so, not just yet. They'll want to do another set of Galactic Legends in Cadence, I think, but I don't think they know what era to go for. I think they might be thinking to themselves, what era? What era do we go for? There's really no way to know, and because things are up in the air, there's still all of the Mandalorian good faith stuff going on at the moment. They've just done the Mandalorian legendary event, so I think we'll probably not get another Galactic Legend announcement until maybe March.
Yeah. All right. We'll have to see here. For me, Piet does save it from getting 0. We are on the same page 2. All right, we're into September. September is that they're doing Capital Games Giving Day. And that's it. We got no new information in all of September.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I getting nothing is a 1.
Yeah. It's no. I mean, I would say the middle mark is average. if they do something that is not good, then it goes below the 2.5 average, and if they do something above average, then it goes above 2.5. So I'll give it a 2.5.
They did nothing.
Yeah, but they didn't do anything. They didn't do anything right, but they didn't do anything wrong in September.
They did do something wrong. They didn't. All they did was give us the prerequisites for the Galactic Legends.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So they didn't do anything wrong, but they didn't do anything right.
Nah.
And the previous month, it's below 2.5 because, it was Galactic Legend Luke and Seep, and it's like, oh god, there are other characters.
Thank you for the 99 bits from the llama and two separate donations, 45 bits from 4 Strong. Thank you very, very much. October, the first of the fact that essentially all other podcasts and shows and content creators are pretty much not worth their time, it feels like. Prove us wrong, please. We're asking you to go somewhere else other than one location. I know you did work with CG. I know you did work with Operation Metaverse of bringing them on, but it was mainly a Galactic War Report show. Just prove us wrong. Go somewhere else. Show Gambit some love. Show Good Morning Korriban some love. Show us some love if you want. I'm done begging. But we get the Galactic War Report with CG Miller about Galactic Legends to start out the month on the 1st. We also get the new art for Palp. They also, on the 1st, tell us that Mods 3.0 is essentially coming. On the 6th, they release the kits for Palp and Grumpy Luke. There was an issue with the Sith raid on the 7th. And then on the 9th is when we got Doja Fett.
Yeah. Oh, yes, we did. Good comms.
They then changed the cadence of Galactic Challenges. They announced... during this month, it was... Ahsoka Tano was the art. Or Night Sisters was the October GAC. Of course, Night Sisters, October. Makes sense, right? And then they announced the following month it would be Bounty Hunters. And that's it. That's all we got, I believe. Oh, no. On October 30th. October 30th, we got Queel and IG-88. Mm-hmm. Or IG-11. IG-11 with Baby Yoda.
With Grogu.
Yep, with Grogu.
And the video animation for that is awesome. Because if he gets scared, he goes down and hides. Then he peeks up his little head and he gives you a little wave, and it's so cute.
So, I say, on the fact that we got CG Doja Fett alone, it's a 5 for October.
I mean, I'll give it a 4. Because nothing beats July. Nothing beats July. Nothing beats the JKL month. Sorry, nothing beats that month. Because we got the character that we've been begging for.
But you didn't get
years.
JKL until October anyway.
I know, but I knew I was going to get him. So, it was just him being announced and just being there. And then working my ass off on a street corner to get all of the resources I need in order to get him the second time he came around.
All right.
Twice.
So, November, we got the Road Ahead that talked. Let me pull up this Road Ahead itself. This was the Road Ahead that talked about how we're getting Moff Gideon, and then that they're increasing or they're changing the ways that Galactic Challenges would reward us. And then also the update on the update that brought out double drops, extra crispy and original recipe drops.
Yeah, the economy change.
The economy change. Let's see if there's anything else. Oh, and then the 5 5th year anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
The 5th year anniversary and then Moff Gideon was actually, the information was released on the 1st, so that doesn't count. Moff Gideon's announcement is the only thing that counts, not Moff Gideon's kit or release. So, economy change, Moff Gideon announcement, and the release of IG-11 and Queel.
I'll give it a month before.
You're going opposite, okay? All right, and then December, we see the 5th year anniversary celebration with double drops and things like that. We get Moff Gideon. We get droids right now. We're still dealing with Grand Arena. Then we also get Beskar Mando. Beskar Mando was... Well, I'll get into that. But then we also get Heroic Challenge Pit.
So, yeah. I'll give it a 4. I'll still give it a 4.
And Galactic Challenges got updated to twice a week. And then they teased us with the armor, who I still believe is going to be not a playable character.
Yeah, no. It's not going to be a playable character. It's going to be just like Jawa Scavenger, but for the other bits of the game. It's going to be a game. It's going to be a currency and equipment and gear converter.
We hope.
That's what I think.
We hope.
That's my theory.
So with the end of the year, I wanted to give it a 5 until Heroic Pit or Challenge Pit. I'm giving it a 4.5 because it's doable. It's just not doable unless you're in a ultra focused guild.
Yeah. And you've blown resources on Relic 5 characters, which, I have not.
So, what do you give the year overall, Neil? And then we're gonna break and
3.5.
3.5. I'm wholeheartedly going to agree with you. 3.5 for the year.
Started off slow, picked up a little bit of pace, got better. We got more things. Yeah, the first 3 months were a bit of a damp squid, but it started to pick up steam. Hit a high in the middle of the year, and then it kind of plateaued at that high, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. So, all right. So that covers essentially the year. We'll talk about coming up after the interview, essentially, maybe a little bit more of hopes and dreams, and answer any Patreons only questions if they're sent in. But coming up in just a moment, story time with the llama, talking about the Darth Malak event, our interview with Warrior Presents, and then a new episode of Helly and the Noob. So this whole block right here, while the interview with Warrior was pre-recorded, it's pretty much dead on. It's one of a really, really good interview. And I also call him out on something.
Mm-hmm.
So wait till I call him out. You'll enjoy that. Guys, stick around. More coming up right here on the Escape Pod Cast.
The Escape Pod Cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
Hello, Escape Padawans. It is the Llama here to remind you that the Escape Pod Castaways are on social media. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, you can catch us on YouTube and on Twitch every week streaming Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, LEGO Legacy Heroes Unboxed, your favorite new Galaxy of Heroes show GA Center, and so much more. Come catch us on the web.
Are you a member of Team Paul or Team Neil? Maybe you prefer story time with the llama, or dabble in the buttery side of the Force with Biscuit Weasel. Or maybe you like the Escape Pod talents from Down Under like Heinzie and Scotty. No matter who you support, you can get one of my designs from the Escape Podcast merch store. Just go to escapepodcastaways.com, click on the merch link, and it will take you to the TeePublic site where you can support me, Mrs. Anthony, also known as Critty K. Also be sure to check out the Mrs. Anthony Shirts channel on the Escape Podcast's Discord server weekly to vote for my latest shirts in the Design Derby on Woot. Links for both of these are down below. Thank you for supporting the Escape Pod cast.
Heinzie from the ANZGC is officially a member of the Escape Pod Castaways. Make sure you go and search for Heinzie on YouTube today because he live streams a lot of his GAC content, and not only does he do that, he also does some pretty fun videos from time to time, including a behind the screen and also streaming Jedi Fallen Order. And from time to time, this idiot might drop by. Head on over and check out Heinzie today on YouTube, a part of the Escape Pod Castaways network.
The Escape Pod cast for kids. It's really cool.
Hello, Escape Padawans, and welcome back to Storytime with the Llama in the Escape Pod cast for kids. This week in the Journey Through the Journey Guide series, we are going to be taking a look at the Starforge Showdown Epic Confrontation event to get Darth Malak. Now, this event is going to be a little bit different than all of the events that we've covered in the past. It's set up differently, the character unlocks differently, so definitely make sure you pay close attention for the differences for this event. Now, you are going to need 10 characters at 7 stars and at least 17,500 GP. Now, this is different than the event in the past because before it was just a star, a gear, and a mod ability level kind of requirement, but now it's a GP requirement. So they have to be at 7 stars with 17,500 GP. The characters required for the event are basically going to be just the characters you use to unlock Revan and Darth Revan. But it's the setup of this event that makes it really different. So there are 2 different phases of this event. There's a light path and a dark path. So in the light path, you're going to need a Jedi Revan lead and 4 of the following 5 characters: Bastilla Shan, Jolie Bindo, Mission, T3M4, and Zalbar. I suggest you take Bastilla, Jolie, Mission, and Zalbar and leave T3 out. You can use him, but you really don't need him, and the other 4 are much better in this event. Now, for the dark path, you're going to need Darth Revan lead with 4 of the following 5 characters: Bastilla Shan Fallen, Canderous, Cartho Nassi, HK-47, and Juhani. I suggest you use Bastilla, Canderous, HK, and Juhani. You can sub out Karth for Canderous, but I just prefer to use Karth. Now, the difficulty on this event is going to be hard to epic. It is extremely RNG dependent, so you're going to have to try it over and over and over again. You're going to get a lot of attempts. So this one really is one of the hardest difficulties of all of the events in the Journey Guide. Now let's take a look at Malak himself. He is obviously on the dark side. He's a tank, he's a Sith character, and he's a Sith Empire character. His basic ability, Rend, deals physical damage to the target enemy and inflicts tenacity down for 2 turns. His first special ability, Torture, deals physical damage to the target enemy, dispels all buffs on them, and shocks them for 2 turns. If the target enemy already has shock or fear, stun them for 2 turns instead. His second special, Drain Life, deals damage to the target enemy equal to 100% of their max health. He also gains a stack of Dark Infusion until the end of the battle, which cannot be copied, dispelled, or prevented. Then, he recovers health equal to the damage dealt. This ability cannot be countered or evaded, and it starts on cooldown. Now, the Dark Infusion buff grants Malak plus 35% offense per stack with a max of 3 stacks. At the max stack, those bonuses are doubled, and basic attacks also inflict healing immunity for 2 turns. With his first unique ability, Gnawing Terror, Darth Malak taunts for 1 turn whenever an enemy is inflicted with shock or fear. Sith enemies cannot gain bonus turn meter, and at the end of each turn, enemies that inflicted damage over time on Darth Malak or critically hit him this turn are infected with fear for 1 turn, and it cannot be resisted or evaded. His second unique, Jaws of Life, Darth Malak will take reduced damage from percent health damage effects, and at the start of the battle, he loses all protection and gains that much max health. Darth Malak will also gain 35% critical avoidance, health steal, tenacity, and defense when he has less than 75% health. It's doubled when he has less than 50% health, and tripled when he has less than 25% health. The first time Darth Malak reaches each of these thresholds, he gains a bonus turn, and the cooldown of Drain of Life is reset. Now, as far as modding your Malak, you're really going to go for tenacity. Go straight for a tenacity set. You can throw in a little bit of defense in there as well, just to keep him tanky, but tenacity is really where it's going to be at. As far as teams, he's excellent on a Darth Revan-led team with Bastilla Shan Fallen, HK-47, and Sith Empire Trooper. He's also great solo. You can use him against Ewoks, you can use him against Old Republic. He's a fantastic tune to solo. He can get you some extra banners in Grand Arena for sure. That's all for me. Tune in next week for more story time with the llama and the Escape Pod Cast for Kids.
Receiving incoming transmission. Receiving incoming transmission. Receiving incoming transmission.
And welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. We have a very, very special guest on today. But I really want to introduce him, but I'm not the master of ceremonies. Paul is the master of ceremonies. So, Paul, introduce our guest for this week's incoming transmission.
I would love to. And it's okay if you do an intro every once in a while, Neil. But I do want to point this out. We started 2020 by talking to this person. We are starting 2021 by talking to this person. Technically, we're ending 2020 by talking to this person because we are recording this yesterday. But it's for good reason. You'll understand. So this guy left us, and then he made a triumphant return. He is one of the best minds in Galaxy of Heroes. He is one of the OG game changers of the day. But we are excited to welcome back to the game. A little bit late in welcoming him back to the game, but welcoming him back to the show, ladies and gentlemen, Warrior. How are you, Warrior?
How is it going, both of you? How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. Very well.
We don't got the cowboy hat. We have the we have a Kaizen hat today.
Yeah, Kaizen.
Are you promoting this brand, by the way?
No, it's not a brand. It's a lifestyle. Kaizen is for my company was a way of doing business. So Kaizen is kind of a Japanese word to describe kind of the way of doing business. So it's not actually, I don't know if there's a business model out there that's, if there's a brand or a company or something that's doing that. I don't know that our company, this is just like a philosophy that we follow. So
gotcha.
we have hats and stuff that have the philosophy on there. It was after a trip to Japan that they actually came back with this philosophy. So that's where that come from. I don't know if there's other companies.
Because I do know that you are a pretty shrewd and smart businessman. So, maybe you were doing some product placement for the Twitch stream. No, I just wanted to give you an opportunity to throw that.
No, I don't do Twitch. Surprisingly,
well, we're on Twitch now.
Oh,
it's been a year.
It has been a year. Apparently,
made the switch to Twitch. We're now doing Twitch live, quote unquote, for this interview itself. We're live for the rest of it.
Very cool.
But yeah, so what did you do? Let's start out the first question. What the heck had you been doing until you returned?
Well, the same thing I've always been doing. I did stop playing the game, but the same thing I've always done, which is obviously family life, work life, all of that. The game was always, something I did kind of on the side as a hobby, and YouTube always was had been and is still currently a hobby. And during the last 10, 11 months, when I quit the game, I still continued to do YouTube. I never quit. I maintained it as a weekly hobby, just like I always had it. I just switched the content from the game to playing cards and doing different questionnaires and just different weird fun things like that. Obviously the viewership went down a little bit, not much. We went from a few thousand views per live stream to about 600, 700 or whatever. But the income was always never an issue. I do well where I'm at financially. So YouTube has never been or will never be what I do for my financial stability. So whether I make a few $100 or whatever, that's never going to be where I pursue it. I'm not Arnold doing this for full time. I know Arnold, when I met him years ago, he always desired to pursue this YouTube thing full time, and he has made that his reality. So that's pretty awesome. If that's your goal to do that, to make it full time. But for me, it's always been a passion just to have it as an outlet, something to do that's fun, that I can once a week look forward to, and then a couple of times a week, if possible, chop a video up and throw something out, like that mod video I did last week. That was fun.
Yeah, your live streams with Sure Shot with those. Where do you got them question cards from? I do not know, because you would ask there'd be a really strange question on one of those cards, and you'd get stuck on it for like 15 minutes, and you're trying to whiz through these questions, and then one question would pop up that everybody would just get stuck on, and the chat would just get overwhelmed by this one question, and it was always, would you rather this or this? It was always a would you rather question.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then
those were fun though.
Oh, it was fun. Yeah, I must admit, it was something fun and something different to do on Wednesday from the usual stream, and it was always fun. Sure Shot was, definitely there, and he was always fast on the questions.
Yeah, for sure. And then we also had Artisan K, who came in, as a third individual to kind of come in and be a personality, if you will. And then you got to remember, I have, in the last year, things have changed as well. I fixed my audio for once and for all. When we started, I'm an older dude. I don't really know much about electronics, and I've had to walk this road alone and teach myself everything. I haven't had any young buck help me out. I don't have anyone that I hire that teaches me stuff. Arnold has an entire crew of individuals. If people don't know that, he has editors and people that he helps produce his content now, actually. So he's got editors and producers and stuff. It's nuts that he can actually support an entire team, which is awesome.
Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah,
it's awesome. But I don't know if you remember, but just a year ago we were trying to use lapel mics to try to do our streams, because we thought, if we each have our own lapel mic and they go into a board or whatever, then the lapel mic would help us have our own sound. And we had a set of lapels where one of them would go out and the other one would like crackle about 20 minutes in. It would be like, but we couldn't hear it. Only the people viewing. So we'd be on, and all of a sudden about 20 minutes in, the one would start to crackle, and all we would know is that all of a sudden the comments would start to blow up like, oh my God, my ears, You
guys weren't using monitors to listen to the mix out.
No. Yeah, that's why I do this now. I didn't know why people wore these on their head. I was like, why do they do that? But now I know, and I have a professional mixing board now, which I can do, sounds and special effects and things like that, which I don't really use a whole lot. But it's so I've come a long way myself, which is funny because, like I said, I've been doing YouTube now for 5 years, and it took me till my 5th year to even figure out basic audio. So,
for people that may have, joined Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes in, let's say, February of this year and have no idea who the hell you are and why we're so excited to have you on, tell us about the account that was mothballed and has come back.
Yeah, so that's actually kind of a funny thing. I had, I've been playing the game for 5 years since the beginning. It was I came out in November 2015, and I started in the spring of 2016. So technically, the game had been out for about I think 5 or 6 months when I started. But I had friends that started in November of 15 when the game got launched, and they bothered me for those first 6 months to play when it launched. And I drug my feet. I was like, no, I'm not playing another mobile game. I'd been burned by another mobile game, and I'm like, I'm not doing it. But I knew about it. And finally I gave in after the first 6 months of launch. And so I started playing. So I was in that first 6 months and started playing since then. So I've been around since basically the beginning, and I quit. But when I left the game, I mean, everybody has their own little shtick of what they're proud of. I had the most Zetas in the game over every other individual in the world. There was no other player in the world that had more Zeta I had more than anyone in Team Instinct, more than anyone in Mob, so that's just kind of my own little like achievement, if you will. I was that dedicated a daily player. And if you remember back then, everybody didn't get equal, and you couldn't buy them. So it was kind of luck because it rolled, some days you'd get 0 Zeta material and some days you'd get more. And I just was a lucky player because some days you'd get 2 drop. And so I was, basically one of the luckiest players out there because I had a better roll on the Zeta material. Plus, being in the #1 guild, I was getting the most material when you were able to get the most amount. So that was kind of cool. So I was in the top 50 of GP when I left. So a year ago, when I left, before Galactic Legends were a thing.
It was right before.
Yeah, you left just before the Galactic Legends.
Yeah, I left just before any Galactic Legends were introduced. I was 48th in the world on GP. 48th in the world on GP. There was only 47 other people that had a higher GP than me when I left. So I was a monster. And then I came back and I'm not even in the top 200, which is hilarious.
How far did you drop? Do you know?
Well, I know that there are people in the 9 millions.
Right.
Of GP, lots,
but
in
still
8 and 9 millions. And I just crested into the 7 millions when I came back. So I was at 6.8 million GP.
So
and then I got into the 7 millions.
I am curious though, because if you were top 50, if you knew where you were, that, when you came back, that would really show a lot of people the growth of endgame players continuing to play, to know exactly where you were. Was there any way you could have figured that out?
I have no idea because really, they show like the top 100 kind of thing. Even Star Wars Galaxy Heroes like SWGOH.GG only shows like top 50 kind of thing, So it's really hard because once you fall out, they don't show like top 200, top 500.
You're irrelevant then.
Exactly. So yeah, and then you start looking, and just to kind of get perspective, you start looking at like top 50. Like, does it start to go into the 8 millions? Nope, not even close. So I mean, it's like 9.2 million to like 9 million, and that's the top 50. So you're like, there's probably another 250 people that are in the 8 millions minimum. So I'm not even close to that, which is fine. And there's no rush. There is no rush. In fact, I don't want to add any more GP onto my GP. I know it's inevitable and it will happen. My goals right now in the game are to finish off the ships. I have 3 capital ships I need to finish off. I have the First Order, the Resistance, and the Malevolence that I need to finish. And then I have.
You went after Negotiator first?
Yeah, of course, because the Negotiator was the only one. The Malevolence wasn't in the game initially, and it was the
oh, that's true.
Negotiator.
That's
yeah,
true. It's been so long.
So we committed to the Negotiator. Everyone did, and we got that first. And once we got him to 5 stars, then the Malevolence came out, and it was, do we stop at 5 stars and start to go for Malevolence or finish? And you commit, and so we committed. Got to 7 stars and then switched over to Malevolence. I got him to 5 stars, and then I quit the game. So I'm trying to get his 6th and 7th star, which I've been trying to do this for 3 months. But remember, initially I came back to Force Canada, which is a great group of people, but you get your currency a lot slower at a lower guild. That's why Team Instinct actually brought me back in, because they wanted me to get more currency faster, because it streamlines my growth faster, so I could, get back on board faster. In fact, it has helped with getting Galactic Legends faster for me in the last 2 months. They jumped me back in and have kind of, ping-ponged me between the guilds and whatnot when needed, but they've allowed me to get a lot more rewards a lot faster, and that has really helped to get the Galactic Legends, because I'm now at 3 Galactic Legends. I'm working on
3?
Obviously. Yeah.
3
I'm
Galactic
working on
Legends in 3 months is bonkers. Absolutely
Are you
bonkers.
So you're definitely not free to play, are you, Warrior?
No, I'm at a few $100 a month. So we're about $600 in. So, but the investment to what you're getting is pretty quick. Now you got to remember, a lot of the characters I needed for those 3 were actually, most of them were sitting in relics, with only 1 or 2 characters needing to be farmed and or taken up in gear. Most of them actually already were in relics. There was a couple of characters that I didn't even have. So there was a couple of characters I had to farm. But then if you remember, when I first came back, they had that quad drop weekend kind of thing, where for like 5 days you could get the character. Then they switched to double drops for anything over a year, plus then they gave double drops on the double drops for the weekend, and that included every character I needed for Kylo, which included the Tomato, which was Sith Trooper,
Sith Trooper.
and so I was able.
For me, it was the Land's End Resistance Bros that I got quickly.
Exactly. And I was able to go and get, basically the 4 characters I didn't have, I was able to go after and finish off any of the characters that I was not able to farm previously. I was able to farm them and get them up. So I was gone just long enough that they were able to tweak the game as I was coming back to basically perfectly suit my return and give me exactly what I needed. And then the drops were amazing. So, and if you have just enough crystals to do, the 50 refreshes and the 100 refreshes, 6 refreshes a day is drastic. It's a lot, that's, you can blast a character quick.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Cause I remember that like 3 months ago, that tweet that will go down in the annals of history. It's like it was a screenshot of you, and you'd gone into Galactic Challenges, and I think you just put something like, "Oh, I did a thing," and it was on Twitter, and it was like, "Are you back? Are you?" And obviously that first month, that initial month, you'd gone back to Force. You were just dipping your toe, kind of like testing the water, because we all remember. Way back in December when you did the video, when you explained quite comprehensively the very specific reasons why you were leaving, the A, the B, the C, the D, the E. And then obviously you tweeted that screenshot of you in Galactic Challenges, and everyone's like, is it happening? It's the Ron Paul meme. It's happening. It's so
one of my favorites.
So funny story. You mentioned this, and I never actually got full circle back to it. You said for a lot of people listening, they may not even know me. Tell them about your account. So we talked about the account, but then the funny story is since I have been gone for a year, there are a lot of new players, and that's the funny thing. A lot of people quit, but a lot of people replace them very quickly, and the game is growing no matter what. It's like you can't kill this organism. It's like moss in a forest. It just keeps growing on one end, even if the other end is dying. It just continues to grow, never ending. And the game has a very long shelf life for sure. But I was on, and Arnold has apparently started a Whale or Fail style video, and it's uniquely different, but it has a similar feel to my videos that I used to do. Well, not used to do, I still do them, but obviously I'd taken a break up from the game, so I haven't done them in 10 months, but I used to do the Worth It series, and I was the very first and only person to do a Worth It series for 4 years. Nobody else did Worth It series videos. I was the pack guru. I was the guy that everybody went to know if something was worth it in the game, and everyone else, because I did those, stayed away. Nobody did like, is this pack worth it? Well, then in the last year, a couple of things happened. Well, Mobile Gamer quit this game and he went over to MSF full time. Well, while he's in MSF, he noticed nobody in MSF is doing a Worth It series style video. And he knew that that was kind of my shtick here and that worked well. So he decided to do his own spin. Of course, he doesn't call it a Worth It series, but he figured that's a good content that you can consistently do that nobody else was doing over there. So he has his own name, his own, I think
he calls it the offer. It's their offer review videos.
Yeah,
offer review, or is it a scam or something like that?
Yeah, but he's got his own thing, and you know, but it has a very similar feel to my Worth It series videos that I've done for years. But it's for MSF, and I think that that's a great idea that he's doing for that game. Well, then Arnold started doing a similar video, like Mobile Gamers video here and it has that, the Worth It series video kind of feel for here, but of course it's exceptionally highly produced. It's nothing like mine. Mine were very simple, just mathematical, just, very warrior-esque of like, is this pack, worth your crystals, and from a, free-to-play perspective, from a a dolphin perspective, from a whale perspective kind of thing. And then his is super highly produced and he breaks it down analytically to how much crystals are you spending on every single item, to how much is the pack worth crystal wise, and that kind of thing. But he has this whale or fail thing. Well, anyway, the first, I only watched one, but it was one and I saw it and I was like, ooh, that looks like one of my Worth It series videos. So I watched it. And then I was like, oh, that's awesome. I'm glad you're doing this video. It looks similar kind of to one of my videos. That's awesome. I'm glad you did that. And then I put out one of my videos because I had just come back and it was a Worth It series video. And I there was a new pack offering. There was actually like 5 they dropped in one time. And I did a Worth It series video. It was the first one I had done in like 10 months.
I'm guessing I know where this is going.
Yeah, and I had a bunch of dudes that obviously don't know me. It came in and on the comment section was like, "You're such a copycat. You're copying Arnold. You are, you're not a creative content person. Why are you copying Whale or Fail? Oh, Whale or Fail 2.0. This is wonderful, man. You really got his, it was hilarious." And I'm just like, okay, yeah. So I've been doing this for 5 years, but it's okay. We
all are inspired. I mean, Neil and I have been inspired by you, by Arnold, by Cubs, by Heinze, but we inspired Heinze to even frickin' start this thing.
Yep.
Start what he's doing now. But it's all about the personalities. It's not about the content. I mean, you can only do so much.
Right.
Watch. I'm going to take this piece of string and stretch it horizontally. All right. I'm going to take this piece of string and stretch it vertically. Oh, why are you stretching it vertically? Horizontally is the best way. Shut up. Go do your own content.
Well, I think everybody kind of has their own shtick, but at the end of the day, some stuff is going to overlap and or sound a bit redundant. And I think it comes down to, bottom line, it comes down to, personality, like you said. People want a different personality, obviously, because he's going towards 200,000 subscribers. People want highly produced content, and he's now at a point where he can have an entire team, and he's a great personality. So he's exuberant and he's a high personality. But there are others, and it's a niche group of people, but there's others who just want someone that's laid back, who's just gonna, talk like we're talking right here. And that's the people watching you guys and me and stuff. They don't need the exuberance and the screaming and the craziness, and that I don't bring that. I never will. You know what I mean? So they just want to know about, how do I slice a mod properly and get my speeds? You know what I mean? That's what I want to know. Give me that information, and don't yell at me. So that's where I that's where I fit in. And that's where I'll always fit in. And I'm okay if I don't have a million subs and make 100,000 a year, because I do that outside of YouTube. So I don't need that.
You're back.
Yep.
Obviously, you had reasons for leaving at the end of last year, beginning of this year.
Yep.
What was it? What was the straw that broke the camel's back? What was it in game that made you think, hey, you know what? maybe I'll go back into the game and I'll see if they've, hit that criteria that I said they must hit in order to bring me back to the game.
Well, so I had a huge list. You guys even just said that on the stream, that I had kind of articulated, these are the reasons. I'm very analytical. So I was like, these are the reasons why I'm leaving. The mods are broken. Inevitably, they're just broken. I can't ever make my free to play account better than it is now. And I noticed it was getting worse and worse and worse for mods. And without them even looking at mods, I was screwed on that free-to-play account too. My time commitment on those 2 accounts was too much, so I had to walk away from one of the accounts. And at the time, I was having more fun with my free-to-play account, but I saw that one as more terminal, if you will, than my warrior account. And then I had the whole situation with Team Instinct, so I didn't want to play my main account, but I also wasn't having fun on my main account at the time. Too much time commitment anyway. And then my free-to-play account was fun, but the events were sloggy and we were spending way too much time in the game. There wasn't good enough rewards. I mean, like I said, I'm not going to rehash everything, but I had a huge list of things they needed to fix. And so I was on a live stream in October, and it was a question posed by just a viewer. They said, hey, what would it take you to come back to Star Wars? Because we're tired of watching these card videos, like they were a loyal viewer. They'd been watching me for like 10 months, read cards with, Sure Shot and Artisan K, and we have fun and stuff. And they were one of the, 600-800 people that watch every week just to have fun, but they wanted to see live streams with the Star Wars game. And so they were like, what would it take to come back? And so I analyzed it. I said, they'd have to have fixed mods. Like they'd have to seriously reanalyze mods, fix mods, make a way to where they could make mods better than they are. They have to have like mods 3.0. I'd have to be able to come back to, Team Instinct, which is never going to happen. I'd have to, be able to have better rewards, new game modes, new this. And I just started listing things. And then everyone blew up chat and it was like, they're bringing a new game mode in. There's new galactic challenges, which is technically a new game mode. There's, better rewards through this. In fact, galactic challenges now gives you quite a bit of new rewards. They've fixed mods. There's mods 3.0. Well, they don't give you enough slicing material. It's a start. You should look at that, and then all of a sudden, there's all these things I mentioned and almost everything's been addressed. Oh, and they started communicating better, which was one of the things I said. They haven't communicated in 2 years. And they're like, oh no, they're communicating now. It's not as good as it needs to be, but it's a start. They're communicating more. And I was like, huh. Well, then the very next day, as I'm percolating all these things that they've said in my head, I'm like, thinking about it. One of the original, one of my buddies from Team Instinct hits me up on Discord and he goes, hey, you're not thinking of picking the game up again, are you? And I'm like, why? And he said, we'd have you back. He said, the whole situation that happened wasn't right or fair. And we didn't agree with what happened from the beginning. We didn't agree with that. That was a whole situation with one individual that was power tripping. And, you left because you didn't want to deal with that BS. And we agreed that was BS. And so you want to come back. We understand your roster is kind of not where it needs to be too. So, we understand if you want to kind of do what you need to do and whatever, but we have this group called, Vanguard that we kind of work with. And if you want to kind of pop in and out back and forth, we can kind of have you hopping back and forth and kind of getting good rewards until you're ready to go. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. So thought about it for a couple of days. And then I said, I'm just going to go back to Force Canada for a few because, I've got patrons and friends and stuff in there. So I opened the game and just looked. And the very first day I went in, there was a galactic challenge and I played it, and the theory crafting and the tiers and the rewards they were giving, I was just like, I haven't had something like this and this fun in years.
Don't say that around Neil. Don't say that around Neil. He's gonna.
No.
I mean,
yeah. No.
Now they have done a change to it just recently, where I felt like the change they just did to it has ruined it. Like, why did you make it where you have these tickets and you have to go to the next tier? Because literally you have to get all the tickets to get the red box kind of thing. And I liked how when you did one tier, you got the rewards isolated for that specific challenge. I felt like, and it paid out instantly. I felt like that was appropriate. I don't like the way that they've changed to where it pays out at the end in a box, and you have to get all of the tickets to unlock the next box. I think that's stupid. I think they should roll that feature back. I do like the way that it was when I first came back in October. I do not like the, as Arnold would say, bantha burritos that you have to earn to unlock it. So
yeah, because I remember that. Sorry, Paul, what'd you say?
Oh, I laughed at bantha burritos. I didn't think I hadn't heard Arnold call them bantha burritos.
Yeah.
No, because that stream where everybody started bombarding you with the changes to the game, I chimed in there with, "Hey, Warrior, the GAC is a double fleet node. I know how you like ships. Come on now, come on back."
Well, and I don't have enough at the time when I came, when you said that actually stressed me out because I love ships, but don't have all of the ships up to par enough to have 2 on defense and 2 on offense. You know what I mean? So that actually was a detriment. That was something I thought, I don't know if I'd want to come back because of that. So that was one thing that was said that I think would have kept me from wanting to come back. But all of that will come back in due time.
So with you coming back, I know that Neil wants to ask this, and it'd be fun to ask on the air. I'm not sure if you're aware that we do have the Tuesday/Wednesday at the end of the season show called GA Center, where we cover content creators that we love, and that we're able to follow that actually produce content. So I would like to extend a invitation, if you're willing to take it, to join us next season with being covered on GA Center. Is this something that interests you?
It does interest me, and I will consider it seriously. Maybe not on this next season, but probably the season after. I'm still missing.
Well, we do 6-month seasons.
We do 6-month seasons, so you'd have more
that's
than
pretty
enough
huge.
time to catch up. Yeah.
So, that's the thing. I'm definitely still missing quite a few pieces of the puzzle, but it's something that's definitely interesting to me to get in there and try and fix it. I've got a lot of pieces to fix, but it interests me for sure. I'm definitely going to join the Discord chat and start to check it out. What you've described this morning definitely sounds different than what I initially thought. So
SWGOH.
Sounds pretty cool. Sounds pretty cool.
So tune in coming up in the next few weeks to GA Center to find out if Warrior has accepted this invite. Now, we are running long here, and I know you have to get going. So I want to hold your feet to the fire, Warrior. I've been sitting on this for a year. Because you said something, and I'm going to play the clip here in just a moment.
Ooh.
My God, does my hair look terrible? I'm going to play the clip here in just a moment.
Okay.
Where you promised me something. Neil, do you have it ready?
Yeah, we'll play the clip.
Okay.
It'll
All
be
right.
there, don't worry.
So I'm going to play this clip, and I want you to explain to yourself. Neil, hit the button.
You know what I mean? Because the pirate faction's coming this year, and I won't know anything about their mechanics. So
there'll be a comedy value to that, though.
I don't tease me with Hondo Onaka, Warrior. Please do not tease me with Hondo Onaka.
Here, brother. He's coming this year. Be ready for a fact.
Okay, so explain yourself, Warrior.
Well, I've got to say that this isn't the first time I've said this. This is actually a number of times I've said this, and I actually saw this on their development board when I was on a trip, and they have expressed multiple times that they were going to be bringing the pirates into the game. And the problem with the pirates is that they are a filler faction for them to be brought in, and that they get put on, they can get bumped and or put in on the back burner whenever something else, a higher priority, gets brought in. And so I know that they've been bumped for years. And I know General Grievous was bumped for years. So General Grievous was supposed to come out years before he actually came out. And Arnold was frustrated with that because Arnold knew that he was coming out and was going to be reworked. And it took them almost 2 years to finally get to the point where he wasn't bumped and reworked. I mean, that's why they made him more accessible and stuff, because they were going to rework him. And so it took 2 years. I do believe 2021 is the year. I really do, confidently. And this is why. They had pirates in The Mandalorian season 2, and because they had the pirates in there and stuff, I think that they, with season 3 coming out and whatnot in December of next year, they're going to have some time in 2021 to, I believe, to have some filler characters. I think they'll be able to have a filler faction and bring in, even if it's just 3 characters, like the Jawa or like the Tuskens, that they'll be able to bring in a few characters. So with that said, I hope 2021 brings us Hondo as if it's not a faction, at least a character with a couple of sidekicks, with a marquee feel. So that's my hope, but it has been something that I know that they said is going to happen, was supposed to happen a few years ago. It's been getting the punt, but at some point it will happen. They have an entire board with art, and it has every character that they plan on bringing into the game, and he's on that. For a fact, he's on that. So,
all right.
So they have intention,
exclusive, but
yeah, they have intention for that. But again, he is on the low priority list. And when Disney says these are the characters you need to put into the game, and this is your timeline, they have to bump those lower priority side projects, if you will. So yeah, I was kind of expecting
anytime we talk about Hondo, I do have to make this plea. CG, you have something that I want. You may think that you have some idea what you are developing, but you do not. And as soon as you release it, within a few moments, it will be mine, and it means more to me than you will ever know. All right, I've given the Hondo disclaimer there.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, no, I can totally corroborate what you mean there, because I remember having a conversation with Crumb at Celebration, and he said that 9 months out of the year the content is kind of like dictated to them by Lucasfilm, and then they get like a 3-month window out of every year where it's kind of like they can throw into the game what they want, what they like, their ideas. But out of the 9 months of the year, of every financial year, it's kind of, we want this in the game to correspond with this at Disney, and we want.
And it depends on how many bugs they're fixing, and it also depends on if something goes over project timeline. And oh man, there's so many things that go into everything. So. But they have thrown a number of things into the game that would have not come in, or that they've tweaked or changed, or and things have been bumped that should have So it's going to happen. It will happen. I just thought that 2020 didn't have a whole lot in the horizons. I figured they had plenty of time, and then they jammed 4 Galactic Legends and Luke into it. I just did not expect that. Plus Galactic Challenges and Mods 3.0 and the new raid. I mean, they made 2020 extremely busy.
Yeah,
it
the
was
last
crazy.
9 months. Yeah, first 3 months was a damp squid, but once they hit April, boom.
Well, in 2019 had nothing, absolutely nothing. It was one thing that led me to quit. There was absolutely nothing. So, very cool.
All right. So, how do people find you, Warrior?
You can find me on my channel at Warrior Presents on YouTube, and if you just look up Warrior SWGOH or Warrior Presents or anything like that, you'll find me. I am there. It's very easy to find me on YouTube. I've been there for 5 years, and so the algorithm knows where to locate me. On Twitter, if you like to just socialize and chat there, it's at Warrior Present with no S. Somebody stole that with the S.
It's just Warrior Present.
Yeah, it's just Warrior Present. Warrior Present, with just the T, no S at the end. So Warrior Present.
you are definitely an interesting Twitter follow. I'm gonna just point that out.
Didn't you get it on the other one? The other social
What's
media?
that?
Didn't you get you got your proper name on the other one though, didn't you?
I did. I don't use it hardly ever though. Hardly ever. I got it just to lock it in if it ever blows up or gets popular, but it's not really popular, so no. I don't use it a whole lot. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say we don't follow exactly the same social circles, if you will, but we still love each other.
Yep, for sure.
All right. Any final tidbits, Neil?
No, it's been great. And
all right,
I know he needs to get
bombs you want to drop before we let you go, Warrior?
No, just excited to be back. Glad to be on here and looking forward to exciting and fun 2021 and the Pirates.
We're clipping that. We'll have it ready for when we have you back on for the first show in 2022. Deal?
Sounds good.
All right. If not sooner. Guys, go check him out. Thank you so much for joining us, Warrior. Coming up, a new episode of Helly and the Noob. And then after that, Patreon's Choice on the Bridge. Thanks for sticking around for the extended interview right here on the Escape Pod Cast.
The Escape Pod Cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
Does your guild want to tap into their full potential in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes?
Yeah!
For as low as $1 a month per guild member, your guild can unleash the power of the game in ways you never thought possible. Ooh. Track your arena movements, guild progression, and much, much more. Contact ShittyBill and get one of his shitty bots on your server today. Just look for him on our Discord server and tag or message him for more information. The link for our server is below in the description. Shitty bots, don't let the name fool you.
Did you know that if you signed up to become a Patreon, you could get tons of rewards? Force Ghost Scotty could do a roster review for you. Neil Andrew Ware could share Grand Arena tactics. Or Paul could even help you get maximum stars in Geonosis Territory Battle. And you even get access into the after show. Sound good? Sign up to be a Patreon today. For as little as $2 a month, you could unlock a ton of potential content. And also get closer to the hosts. Head to patreon.com/The Escape Pod to sign up.
And now time for something completely shameless.
Time to rest, Helly, old boy. Yes. Rest. Yes. Rest. What, noob?
Happy New Year!
Meat bag. Yeah, noob. Happy yet another revolution around our star day. Whatever. Go away.
Come on, Linux. It's time to celebrate
New beginnings. Come on, noob.
But
you know I don't partake in waste of time, fabricated holidays that make no logical sense and are little more than remnants of an archaic past.
But
they're a waste of time and energy, and I don't like them.
But everyone celebrates the
New Year.
Linux. It's a widespread tradition throughout the galaxy.
I don't care, droid. I'm tired. I want to rest. And I want you to go away.
I know. I will start the S2E8 protocol.
The what now? Protocol enacted.
What's the problem this time, Linux?
Oh, jeez.
And why don't you want to celebrate the
New Year? Seriously?
Linux, I know you're not motivated to create new content anymore, but as the saying goes, the show
must go on. Oh, jeez. Noob?
Yes, Linux?
Go away. Seriously.
But
no buts about it, mister. I just want to be left alone. I need some me time.
Linux, I'm just trying to
cheer you up
and get you back into the holiday spirit.
Well, I was never in the holiday spirit to begin with, droid.
Linux?
You know, you're really starting to annoy me now, noob. Go away. Do whatever it is you want to do. Just leave me out of it.
No?
You know, all I want to do is rest, noob. Don't read too much into it. I'm just tired. I'm exhausted, frankly. And I never celebrate New Year's anyway. Just go away and do whatever it is you want to do. Just leave me alone.
Hellenics, we must do the skit. It requires a PSA, and we need a dramatic turn of events right at the end of this episode because it's the penultimate episode of the season. No arguing.
Meatbag.
Now, where were we? Oh, yeah, New Year's is a time for new beginnings. New beginnings are essential. We must fulfill our obligations, etc., and...
You know what that means.
Oh, dear God, Droid. What do you think you're doing?
You guessed it, Hellenics. I, N00B, have a short PSA that can help
you
understand.
This isn't how any of this is supposed to go down, noob.
This PSA is brought to you by N00B and the Escape Pod Cast
Merch Store.
#shameless self-promotion.
Visit our merch store to get some awesome stuff. Doing so helps continue producing this show, ensuring many more episodes to come in the
foreseeable future.
New beginnings. What are they? Why do they keep happening? And who stands to benefit? In this SWGOH PSA, we will explore new beginnings and the many myths that surround them. All things have a beginning, a middle, and
an end.
This is the natural progression of things. At least, that's what the organics keep telling me. While we droids do not experience life cycles the same way that
meatbags
do, we've too pondered the uncertainty of new beginnings from
time to time.
Are new beginnings a good thing or a bad thing? Today, we will try to navigate these
muddy waters
and determine when to look forward to a fresh start and, more importantly,
when it should be avoided.
We've all seen it. The new year rolls around and folks all over the galaxy begin making
resolutions.
Some say they'll get in shape. Others say round is a shape. Still, others ask,
what are shapes?
Noob.
Okay, maybe that didn't make too much sense. Perhaps I shall word it like so. New beginnings can be beneficial for your mental health. They allow you to begin a new chapter in your life with a clean slate, wiping away all the negativity of the past and refocusing on an optimistic and encouraging aspect for your future. Thus, new beginnings can be a
great thing.
Indeed. Making changes in your life should be done because you want the positive benefits that come from said changes to become a reality. What you don't want to do is
make changes just for the sake of making changes.
Your objective should be to enhance and improve your life, helping you to accomplish more goals than ever before. However, you should also be realistic, realizing that these changes may not come quickly nor easily. Making these changes can be accomplished if you
A.
Make a commitment to yourself to follow through with the changes.
B.
Understand that there may be knock-on effects from these changes and
C.
Believe in yourself and your ability to make the necessary changes happen. Remember, this is
your life.
Take ownership of it and move steadily along the path that you wish to travel. After all, life is a journey full of twists and turns,
exotic planets,
gravitational anomalies,
space turbulence,
and malfunctioning hyperdrives. One can never be fully prepared for what lies ahead. But if you want to travel on a previously uncharted hyperspace lane, you can't allow
fear and uncertainty
to stop you from realizing your dreams. Only you can make the journey of your life the most exciting adventure imaginable. This has been
N00B
for the Escape Pod
Cast.
#shameless self-promotion.
And new beginnings. Because that's what New Year's is all about. Wow, these PSAs really are
harder
to make than I give Hellenics credit for. So, do you see now, Hellenics? Wasn't that
PSA
helpful?
Noob.
Yes, Hellenics?
Go away.
No. Instead, may I show you something that I've been
working on
for the last few weeks?
Noob, if it makes you go away, then yes, fine, I guess, whatever. Show me what you got.
Excellent. In honor of
new beginnings,
I proudly present to you a newly refurbished and fully functional
TC-14.
Ah! Master!
TC-14?
Why?
I bet y'all didn't see
The Escape Pod. Cast. The Bridge.
Welcome back to the show, ladies and gents. Oh, something flashed up and flashed off the screen then. What was that?
Oh, that was Geek Girl and JJ Manners both subbing during the interview, along with Real Going Nerdy throwing 12 bits our way as well.
12 biddies. Yeah. Of them biddies. Bitty.
We need a newbie plushie. I loved that episode of Helly and the Noob. That's going to run all January. We'll find out what happens to Helly and the Noob in February. So
dun dun dun
dun dun dun.
I'm ripping that from the Crudes. I'm so ripping that from the Crudes because when that lemur, is it a lemur? I don't even know what that animal is from the Crudes, but it's cute, it's furry, and when it goes dun dun dun, it sounds cute and adorable.
All right, so we do have some questions.
Okay, excellent.
Yep. And by the way, for Sephiranus and Geek Girl asking in the Patreon chat, yes, there is a after show tonight. So if you are a Patreon after show, or if you're a Patreon member or a sub to the Twitch channel, you can tune in for the after show on the Discord channel and get those benefits. Lots of fun as well is had in the Patreon channel as well. Now, Neil, before we get into Patreon's choice questions, why don't you tell people what's going on coming up with some changes, not necessarily the big change that we're keeping secret. There's a way to follow your streamers coming up that we're going to be adding to the channel and /GA Center. Why don't you tell people about that?
Yes. So one of the things that we do is we let everybody know that if they want to follow one of the competitors that we cover in GAC, all they got to do is go and check out their channel. And what we do is we put their we were going to put links, but some of these links are just a bunch of numbers and forward slashes. So what we're going to be doing moving forward is we're going to put the command for season 2, which starts in a few weeks' time. What we're going to be doing is we're going to add the command in chat. So when we do the live recording of GA Center in the show, if you want to know the Twitch channel or the YouTube channel of a GAC, of a GA Center competitor that we cover, all you'll need to do is type in, what is it? Apostrophe,
and then their name.
Apostrophe, and then their name, and then it will give you the link to their Twitch channel. So if we mention something particularly juicy about how a competitor's week's gone, and we say, yeah, you should definitely go and check this out, you'll be able to see, that's where I go and check it out. We'll make it simple for you.
A way to promote others, because that is what we at the Escape Pod Castaways are all about, is promoting friends and colleagues that support this game. Without them, you guys wouldn't have found us. Without us, I mean, I don't know what to say to that, but honestly, with us, we can support others. That's what I'm. That's what I mean.
I've always been gearing the. The show as if touting the show like a Sports Center / Match of the Day type show about our competitors, and you wouldn't be like, oh, so the Rangers played the Mohawks and they did this and they won that, but not tell everybody, oh, if you want to go and watch them, they play here. So if you want to go and watch them, they play at this stadium in this city. You wouldn't just get, oh, these two teams played each other in a game.
By the way, Neil, you're in Illinois. You should know that it's the Blackhawks, not the Mohawks.
Yeah, I know it's the Blackhawks.
Okay.
I don't care.
Okay. Patreon's only questions. Let's get moving on these. JJ Manners has 5 questions for us. The first one: what is a certain skill that your co-host has that you admire? Neil, what I admire most about you is your British wit. To be honest with you, your British wit always puts a smile on my face, and I love to see. I love to see it enacted in more than just our show.
Yeah, I'm very jelly of your audio skills, which is why you do the audio and I do the video. I wish I had your audio skills, especially when it comes to what is it? Audacity. I wish I knew how to use Audacity like you use Audacity.
Oh, so, I use Adobe Audition, but I would be more than happy to help you.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Thank you, B. Coots, for the 465 biddies.
66. Yep, so let's move on to what random act of kindness have you been on the receiving end of that still brings a smile to your face? I want to say things like what you guys do with the donations of bits and stuff, but honestly, it's going to go back to the fact that I was able to take Christy to Universal and Disney just last year, right around this time.
I'll get back to you on that. I'm trying to think of one worthy of telling you.
All right. If you took a Star Wars personality test, what character would be the honest result, and what character would you want the result to be? The honest result would probably be Poe, because I'm always trying to do right, but I have a checkered past. But I would want the result to be Hondo.
I would want the result to be Luke, but the result would probably be Han, because, at the end of the day, I am a bit of a scoundrel.
All right. Next up, can you help me move my fridge?
Yes, I can help you move your fridge.
Yeah. You're going to go help JJ Manners move his
No.
fridge?
He asked if I could. He didn't ask if I would. There's a difference. Of course I can. Of course. Can you help? Of course I can help you. Will I help you? You didn't ask that question.
How much would a new Slave One with Mando and the crew need to cost to justify buying a toy?
$2. You've seen my shelf. My maximum. Well, actually, no. Saying that, I did pay $7 for the R2D2, but the R2D2 is beautiful. You've seen my R2D2.
That is true. I mean, you have, but you are pointing to the cockpit of the Millennial Fulcrum right now on Twitch, just so you know.
Yeah, and we do need someone to make a model of the Millennial Fulcrum. So, yeah.
If anybody's good at modeling,
if anyone's good at making models, we need a model rendering of the Millennial Fulcrum, so that at the end of the show, instead of just, the hyperdrive stars, I want to green screen in a model ship that travels through hyperspace.
All right. For me, if it's Lego, including crew, up to $150. If it's including all of the crew, Boba, Kara, Fennec, all those.
And like I said, for me, it's $2, literally. If it ain't $2 and it ain't secondhand, I ain't buying it. Can't justify it.
What legendary character have you been putting off that now Double Drops has made so much easier? For me, okay, so I'm a collector. I'm a Pokemon collector of my characters. I have everybody at 7-star. But I am, with double drops, I did put myself closer to getting Ray because I was finally able to farm Poe and Finn. Because anyway.
Shore Trooper. I need Shore Trooper for one of the...
What legendary character?
Huh?
So what are you going to intern use that character for? They say, what legendary character have you been putting off?
Oh, I haven't been putting off... I've got all the legendaries. I haven't been putting off any legendary characters.
Right.
He said...
But you're going after Shore Trooper.
I'm going after Shore Trooper because of the fact that, I get 10 instead of... you get double the shards instead of, 1. So I need him. I want him.
All right, well, let's go ahead and wrap this up here. Anything with 2021, let's touch on this. Things you hope for the show and for us as a whole in the future. For me, I hope to get the website done. If anybody knows websites, let me know. But I hope to get the website done. That would be nice. And I hope that you guys will enjoy the guest for episode 100 that we've been keeping under wraps. You don't want to miss that one.
Okay, so I hope that Cobra Kai Season 3 is good. If anybody spoils it, I will kill you. Because I will be binge watching that.
You're going to be watching it tomorrow.
So I'm going to be watching that tomorrow. So I hope that Cobra Kai Season 3 is awesome because 1 and 2 were. I hope that we can hit 1,000 followers on Twitch. I hope that, the camera that I'm currently using for my full green screen doesn't get taken away from me. I hope that my sister, who I've been told is very cute, holds true to her word and does some YouTube videos with me, because I'm looking forward to seeing her in action with 2 lightsabers, because that's what she's going to be. She's going to be like an Ahsoka Tano, but without the funky coloured skin. And I hope that, we don't miss a week. And I hope that all of our future collabs go just as well as the one that we've got planned for later on this month goes.
It will be awesome. All right, so we are going to go ahead and wrap it up here. But guys, thank you so much. Even though, and we always mention, wear a mask, protect those that you love. Even though the vaccine's out there, please, guys, continue to be vigilant. We can get through this all together. We love you all. So, protect those that you love, wear a mask, and be nice to each other. Damn it, it's 2021. 2020's behind us. We'll see you guys next week for episode 100 of the Escape Pod cast. Neil?
Yeah.
Push the button.
You got it. Ta-ta for now, folks.
What's going on? Where the hell are we? Paris?
Thank you for pressing the self-destruct button.
Attention! This is Colonel Sanders in forward command. Abandon ship! Abandon ship! All personnel proceed to escape pods. Close down the circuits. Evacuate the city. Self-destruct mechanism has been activated. Abandon ship! Where is it? Where is it? It's gonna be here. Out of order! Even in the future, nothing works.
This ship will self-destruct in exactly 10 seconds. Counting down. 10, 9, 8, 6.
6! What happened to 7?
Just kidding. 3, 2, 1. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. The Escape Podcast was filmed in front of a live studio audience full of tweaked out murder bears.
Sit, Boo Boo, sit. Good dog.